This is the first of 4 lessons on advertising. Now, your skills on analyzing advertising will be assessed in paper 1, question 3. It will be a 10-mark question, and everything that we're going to discuss in these 4 lessons of advertising will be tested somewhere along the line. Now, you need to understand exactly what an advertisement is. I know that sounds very simple, but there's actually more to it than you think. Remember that an advertisement is very carefully designed. Nothing there is just haphazardly put in. It is carefully designed and it has a specific aim. And the aim is to promote a product. And that is the essence of it. You have to understand it. A product is being promoted. Now, there will be written and visual aspects to an advertisement. The second important thing to remember is that they work together. Both these work together in a successful advertisement towards creating a certain message. And that message is aimed at a target group, a target audience. There's always, the advertiser always has a target audience in mind. Become aware, furthermore, that it is part of our everyday lives. It is around us all the time and it does affect us. Whether you know it or whether you don't, you are influenced by advertisements. And it can influence your thoughts. It can influence something as important as your values. It can influence your opinions. So it is extremely, extremely powerful. And it's in different media. We are bombarded with this every single day. Now, to start off with, let us look at a very, very simple little advertisement. Very easy to analyze. I say to you that the visual and the written texts work together to create a message for a target audience. Now let's look at this advertisement. We're going to look at the visual text. So visual text. We're going to look at the written text and see how they work together to form a certain message for a target audience. Now, if you think that the target audience of this advertisement is little boys, you are wrong. The target audience is the mothers who want to feed their children proper food, especially veggies, and they want them to be happy about it. They want them to love it. Now, let's look. The meal that this little child has in front of him is a piece of lasagna. We can link it to the little packet here, which is another visual part of this advertisement. And we see that it's from Arctic Gardens and it is vegetables for lasagna, right? So we know that this meal is a vegetable meal. Now, we would normally expect a frown on a child's face. If the child sees broccoli and carrots, they will frown. They'll say, oh no, I don't want it. I'm not going to eat it. They're going to basically look like that. But now the ad says that if the child sees this meal in front of him, he's going to change his whole attitude. He's going to love it. He's going to look forward to eating it. Now, that's the visual, but is that the end of the visual? Is there more? I think so, because the majority of this picture is very white and clean. Everything looks immaculate. What does that suggest to the target audience? The mother wow, look how clean my kitchen is. After I've cooked a meal for my son, and he is so happy about it. And to put the cherry on top, it's veggies, and he's loving it. So I can give him this meal. I can just buy it in a package just like this, and I can serve it up to him, and he's just going to love it. While my kitchen is clean as a pin. So the main message that this advertisement wants to give is that mothers can now have an easy time. They can have a clean kitchen while serving their children a meal that they will love, plus it will be vegetables. All they need to go is to go and buy a packet of this Arctic Gardens vegetable lasagna. Easy as pie. So you can ask yourself how the visual text supports this message. You can then refer to everything we've said here. That's the visual text suggesting that to you. And you can go and ask yourself what the written texts suggest about this. It says, remove the grimace. In other words, take away that ugly face. Give him a lovely face, a happy face. It is written in an unassuming font. It is white. Now, you might want to criticize the fact that it's white. You might want to say that it doesn't stand out well enough. I think there's a subtle message in the white font. It goes very nicely and neatly with a white kitchen, and I think that's a very important part of this message, how easy it will be for the mother. And it's so easy in the same way, just as easy to change her child's attitude towards vegetables. So you can just say all of these things if you are asked how the written or the visual text support the central message. Easy as that. Now, when analyzing advertisements, there is a very easy principle to remember. It's called IDA. It stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. So, when you're given an advertisement to analyze, ask yourself the following questions. When you look at this advertisement, ask yourself, apart from the fact that you have to look at the written and the visual text, obviously see the striking elements there, ask yourself how the visual and the written text, how it immediately grabs your attention. What grabs your attention first? What creates an interest there? So in other words, how do they get you to get interested into it? Now, the attention would, in the previous one, for instance, would immediately be the visual image that grabs the attention. Why is this little child suddenly happy when he has to eat? How is the interest maintained? Oh, I can buy this lasagna from the shop and have a clean kitchen, etc. So you ask yourself how your attention is grabbed in the beginning, how your interest is maintained, how this product creates desire. Desire is a very, very important part of an advertisement. How is desire for this product achieved? And then what does the advertisement do to shove you into action? What is going to make you get into your car, rush off to the shop and buy these Arctic vegetable meals for your child? Now, I think we answered all those questions just now. It's just a matter of, depending on the question, how you're just going to bring those in. Looking at the mark allocation and checking how long you think an answer they want. You can just apply this principle every time you have to analyze an advertisement. Here is another advertisement, and we're going to see how these principles are utilized in this one. One's attention, I would say, is immediately aroused by the fact that there is a visual with that strange little contour in red which doesn't seem to fit in the picture. So I think that's the thing that immediately sort of draws the eye. And now, once they have our attention, what do? Oh, so what is that? You can immediately link that contour to this car, and it's very clear that they want this car to be standing in front of this mansion. You've made that. Now the interest is going on. You are starting to put the puzzles together. There goes the puzzle. Right. So now you ask yourself, who is the target audience? Who is this meant for? It's obvious that this man, he's virtually in the center of the picture, is the person that this is intended to attract. The man looks self-confident. He looks as though he has climbed the corporate ladder. He already has a beautiful mansion, tropical garden. He has a companion standing next to him. Everything is just blue skies, clear, and trees and garden and money and success for him. He's looking at the audience. He's looking as if to say, I could do it, you could do it too. He almost challenges the viewer to become as successful as he is. And then, of course, if he's so successful, then what? Ask yourself, we're doing the puzzle. What is missing in his life? Very obviously, the car. So all he needs to have a perfect life is this car in front of his house. So now he sees that this can give him ultimate happiness. So he now has a desire for the product. I want that car to stand there. This is an ugly empty space in front of my house. I want the car there. There's desire. And only once you can get a desire, you can create a desire for the product, the person is going to start taking action. And it's almost certain, if you look at the contour of this car, which is done in red, which is a color of passion and desire and so forth, that he cannot wait to just put it there, just to put that car in the space where it should be, and that's going to complete his happiness. So one can imagine that this man will drive off or whatever off, he will go and find the car. And as I say, the way in which he looks at the audience almost tells the audience, well, if I can do it and have a perfect life, so can you. This is perfection. Then when finally we look at the Google advertisement here, we have the Google logo, very interesting logo. It's done in a very playful font, easy to read, playful font, colorful, but very subtle too, because you see that it's done in primary colors in blue and red and yellow and blue and red, but the other yellow is gone. Suddenly there's a green L. So what are they suggesting? We are playful, we are user-friendly, and we just break the rules a little bit here and there. That little L suggests, we'll just break this rule. So we are not that serious. We want you to have fun and break the rules a little bit when you find your information from our engine. And then, of course, the written text, just try using another engine, suggests a very colloquial approach, a very personal approach. If you say to somebody, just try, you have your tongue in your cheek, you're being playful, you're being humorous, you are just being friendly and everydayish. So just try using another engine already makes you feel at home within this engine, as though you belong. So we have seen how the striking aspects of the written here and of the visual text, the striking aspects. In the written, it was just try, the emphasis. It's not a warning, it's a playful warning, right? And then the striking aspects of the visual text is the playful font, the coloring, the throwing in the little bit of a green in amongst the primary colors. We're not that traditional. We can bend the rules a little bit. How they suggest to us who the target market should be for this, or who the target market is. It's actually anybody who want to get some information, but in a not too serious way. It's user friendly, and you can have fun doing it. You will know how this always changes when you go into Google. There's always a little picture around it, something playful and funny around it. So it will create a desire for you to become part almost of this family. They are drawing you in to become part of this family of Google users, right? And the message is, use us. We're easy to use. We're fun to use. And that is it for today. Please join us for the next lesson on advertisements next time.